Hello there once again. I'm bringing you another comic book haul. These books all came from various locations. I went out to do some one specific personal errand, which I won't get into, and along the way I picked up some books from both We Book In downtown, and then Revolver in City Center, and then some newer books from Warp One on White Ave, and then I ended up at We Book In on White Ave, yeah, for some dollar bin books. So the first thing, this is my first ever omnibus. It's the Complete Elf Quest Volume 1 by Richard Pini, or Wendy Pini and Richard Pini. So. And this book, I'd seen it in their shop previously, but it had been on hold for somebody else, and they said they'd let me know if that person did want it. They didn't let me know. But I think they just forgot. That's okay. So, because it ended up on the shelf, but luckily I saw it before somebody else bought it. So, yeah, it was cool. It's got really cool black and white art. So, and we'll see whether or not I can find the rest of those volumes. I think there's like 2 or 3, maybe 4. I can't remember. Anyways, after that, I went and that was what I did first. Then I went and did my errand. And then afterwards, like I said, I went to Revolver in City Center Mall, and the owner had just begun to reorganize his books, and he had put some out, but there were still some in boxes and stuff that it hadn't gotten around to organizing, and he says it might hopefully will be done by the middle of this month, this being August now. So I picked up 2 books from there. We got Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. So, and Mon Comics, he picked this book up specifically for this character. Is that Goomba? Goomba? Goomba. I don't think it's Goomba. And they also had from Mark Miller, Terry Dodson, and Rachel Dodson, Marvel Knights Spider-Man #1. And Marvel Knights is could be making a comeback, mainly because of the work that Christopher Priest is doing for World to Come, for Black Panther, and supposedly there's going to be a Punisher book, and will there be a Marvel Knights Spider-Man book at some point? Who knows? So those are the books I picked up while I was downtown. Then, like I said, I went to White Ave. I had to go to. I was looking for books that West Em and Coin and Stamp, new books that West Em and Coin and Stamp didn't have. Still trying to figure out what my new LCS is going to be. And they definitely had some cool books that I did not find elsewhere. We got Disney Gargoyles Demona, issue #1, and I specifically wanted this cover for this issue. Some people had, I think a couple stores had other covers, but it wasn't the one I wanted. So, and they also had issue 2. Same artist, if that's the artist I'm going to pick up for that series. And they also had issue 1 and 2 of Heat Seeker Exposed. So for Heat Seeker Exposed #1, I went with the Lucio Perillo cover. And for issue #2, I went with the Inyak Lee cover. So that was cool to find. And yeah, those books were mostly cover buys. Well, the Heat Seeker ones, the Demona ones are definitely on my to-read list. But I had picked up one other book while I was there. The latest issue of this comes out today, being the 6th of August. You're not seeing this on the 6th. You're seeing this much later. But they had this cover for the previous issue. I think it's issue 42, or is it 41? I can't remember. But that is a glow-in-the-dark cover. And I did not realize it. I didn't know it was a glow-in-the-dark cover, or I hadn't remembered it was a glow-in-the-dark cover. Something's on my screen. Distracting me. until, because I think some of them had mentioned that on Show Us What You Got, either last week or the week before. I can't remember when it came out. I think it was a while ago. But I just took it because it's cool. So anyway, now we're getting to the last of the books. These are all dollar bin books plus something very cool for the end, which is not a comic book, but I got it at the same time, so I'm including it as part of this haul. Actually, there's two things. When I was digging through the dollar bin books, I found a Marvel Comics X-Force card from inside one of the comics. It was loose in the box, and they said, and it's not in great shape. It's dinged up pretty bad because it was loose in the box. And they said, yeah, just take it. So they didn't care. So I decided, oh yeah, I'm going to take that. All right, so a couple of these books I already bagged and forwarded because I realized afterwards, well, one of them I figured, hey, that's an important key. So it ended up in a bag of board pretty much right away. But like I said, these are all the dollar bin books. First up, we got Year the Villain, #1. This is also considered a minor key for some reason. I'm not sure what it is. I think it has something to do with the Batman Who Laughs. I don't know. But yeah, I picked it. Like I said, this was all dollar bin books, and I was shocked that I said, I can't believe this. I wasn't surprised it was in the dollar bin, but I was surprised it's in such amazing condition. This is Cold-Blooded Chameleon Commandos, or is it Chameleon? Cold-Blooded Chameleon Commandos. I'm going to say Chameleon. Issue #1 from Blackthorn. So that was fun. As well, we got Four Eyes #1, first issue from Image Comics. This is from Joe Kelly, Max Fumera, and Nestor Pereira. I can't say that. Here, I'll show you the names. I don't know how to say that name last. But that was mostly, I saw it, and it was fantasy based to a certain extent. That's just mostly reading material. I saw this as well. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. So this is Into the Badlands Special 1. It's on the AMC show, which I never actually come around to watching. But I know that one is also considered a minor key, but not highly valuable. And then there was this by Aftershock. It's called Patience, Conviction, Revenge. Issue #1, A Startling Tale of the Future by Patrick Kindlon, Marco Ferreira, Patricia Camino, and Jim Campbell. This is from Aftershock Comics. And that is actually the title of the book, Patience, Conviction, Revenge. Cast out of Vegas and into the savage wasteland. Now he's back for blood. Okay. This next book was mostly, I bought it for the cover. There's a little bit of a, I think, stain on one corner. But this is issue #1 of Rune World by Derek Loffman from Kaboom Studios, and I bought that mostly for the cover. I will read it, but I think I'm gonna, even though it's got that little stain there, looks like somebody spilled coffee on it. I'm gonna keep that just for the cover. So. Another interesting book that I think it's this one is also going to be something that I just mainly read. Sort of looks like it's sort of a sci-fi fantasy sort of thing going on. We got Primos, #1 of 4 by Madrigal, Carlo Barberi, Brian Reber from AWA Upshot. That was cool. An interesting thing that I found and that I had noticed previously but didn't pick up. I think this is from this haul. I might have picked this up in a different haul earlier and shown it already, but I don't think so. And this, because I think I would have talked about it more, this is the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo 2012 Program Guide. I think I would have mentioned this and talked about it more, because it's just interesting. It has some interesting articles in it. They're talking about Odafest on the back. So I think I would have mentioned, remembered mentioning in a previous video. Anyways, the two books that ended up in bags and boards. We have, first up, this is a DC book, Teen Titans number 25. I saw this in the bin, and it says The Secret Origin of Crush, Daughter of Lobo. And I'm like, is it really an origin issue? It is actually her origin issue, and is considered a minor key. We'll see whether or not, maybe we'll see if we see Crush as a cameo in Supergirl, which I doubt we'll see. But you never know. Then maybe we'll see her as a baby or something like that. Then maybe that book will be valuable someday. We'll see. And this one is for the FOMO Squad. They've got number 1 of Earth Lore, futuristic drama in the Mystic Pass. Cover art by Russ Steffens, and that says from 1986. Just bizarre book, and I have a feeling Eric from Sidewest will like this one. So I think Nate will like this one too. Oh, yes, and it's Nate from Hollywood Comics. All right, so that's all the books. Now I also picked up one other thing. I picked up the card as well, but that was free. I didn't have to pay for that. So, but when I was getting my dollar bin books from We Look In, I thought, well, let's take a look on the wall. Didn't see any books I wanted, but I saw a VHS tape in a clamshell, and I was like, is that what I think it is? I said, well, it's going to be really expensive. And it turned out not to be. This is The Lord of the Rings on VHS. Yes, that Lord of the Rings. So, J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, music by Leonard Rosenman, screenplay by Chris Conklin and Peter S. Beagle, based on the novels The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, produced by Saul Zez, I'm not going to say that, directed by Ralph Bakshi. So, there you go. Yeah, I had to take that. I saw it, I was like, nope, I'm not leaving that behind. All right, so that is the haul for today. I hope you saw something you liked. Do all the YouTube stuff if you feel like it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's greatly appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye for now.